So I've been working overnight stocking at a retail job for basically 2 years now. And I actually really do like the job. The job is very easy. Once you get used to it, it becomes a very sort of zen-like job. Like you could go into the flow state and all of a sudden, like, it's 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. when I start, and then 7:30 in the morning. And that all depends on what you came here to figure out, which is how to lock in. Now, the term lock in has been used so much right now in pop culture, especially when it comes to things like video games and playing sports. But the way I like to think about locking in, especially when it comes to my job, is the idea of routine. Because to lock in doesn't necessarily mean just to, I guess, try and focus on something, but make sure that you are in a position in which you have a routine to continuously focus. Because you don't just lock in for one game that you're playing. You just don't lock in for one sort of half of playing 2K20, 2K24, 2K25. You lock in for the entire game. And what that comes down to is having a game plan and having a routine. So my routine when I go in to work is to get started as soon as possible. Whether I'm coming in early or I'm coming in on time, as soon as I get my things ready, I look at all the product that needs to go up, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to work this fast so I can have a good night. And why this is so important is because if you don't, let's use the term here in context, if you don't lock in almost immediately, then it can sort of drag the night along. And if you haven't picked up, by now, this isn't just about working. This applies mostly to me for work, but this is in life too. Just as anything, you want to get ahead so you can sort of breeze by once the hard part is over. And to bring this back to work, every time I go in, I look at the amount of pallets that I have, the amount of stuff that I have to do within a day, if your supervisor is giving you those directives. And I'm like, okay, this is how fast I'm gonna work so I can kind of coast through and just zen out the rest of the day. So the way that it works is we have pallets that we need to break down, put on boats, which is the sort of holding stations with wheels, and simply just put them into our island and start working. Once we have everything broken down, we can start work. That's basically the hardest part, because that's the part that can take the most time until you are in a position in which you just get the work done. So the way that I lock in is getting everything situated with my, my snack or my water, my headphones, my cutting knife, and then simply getting to work as soon as possible. Doing all of the hard work first, getting my mind right. Let's say I'm, because I can wear headphones at my job, put it in a podcast, not even looking at my phone, not texting nobody, not putting in a parlay, looking at a game, nothing. I put on a One Piece podcast, and I simply just get to work. And when you have this sort of flow state, or just this lock-in state, let's call it this lock-in state of just going through work, you don't even know what's happening, you're just doing it instinctively. Once you get into that instinctive flow, you will see that it's really not as hard as it seems. You could have a whole lot of work to do, and most days, if you're working at retail like me, or you're working at whatever job, especially retail, because this is a retail video, Most days are gonna be okay, chill. Maybe you get a hard day every once in a while, depending on where you work. Do understand that hard days will come, they always do come. But let's say on a week to week basis, you have probably 2 hard days and, 4 sort of easy coastal days that you could just chill and just zen out your work. You want to get into a flow state in which you already have everything situated, you don't have any other obligations, your mind isn't anywhere, and you just get the work done. So what I like to do is I put on a podcast, I situate all my stuff, and I work as fast and best as possible. You can work fast, but also make sure you are working as best as possible, because that's going to be the thing that ensures that when you get to the later parts of the night, let's say from y'all start at 11 to 1, basically 11 to 1, 2ish if I'm on until like, let's say 5 or 7:30 a.m., which is the longest I could work until. So from 11 to 2 is going to be when I'm working fast to get through the bulk of, my starting aisles, because I do around 3 or 4 aisles. Sometimes I fill in for another aisle, but when I go in through my main aisles, I'm working fast and I'm working hard and working to perfection to make sure everything is nice. Don't give my supervisor or anybody else a chance to say that I didn't do this or do that, because it is all already done. Now, when I get through to the latter end of the night, I can coast through it. I can do things. I can maybe go for my break, work a little slower, pay more attention to detail, do extra stuff that isn't in the directive of what I'm supposed to be doing, because I already did the hard work of working fast and efficiently the hours before. You don't want to, dilly-dally around for the sort of first half of your shift and then notice, oh wait, shit, I gotta lock in for the last half so I can get out on time. My supervisor not saying anything to me, blah blah blah. Like, you don't want to do that at all. You want to lock in early, get your routine in early, do everything to perfection and efficiency early. So by the time you get to, the latter end of your shift, maybe even just a halfway point, you could get through everything. You could even work at a steady pace and notice that you're still gonna be getting out and finishing your work on time. So essentially, to lock in at a retail job, you have to make sure that nobody else is distracting you, nothing else is distracting you from your main goal, your work, for the first half or the first bulk of your work. And you want to get the hard work done first. So when you go to do the less prioritized work, then it is something that is not as difficult to do as you're ending the night. Because when you're ending the night, you're getting ready to get out, you don't want to be at a state of sort of let's say, you don't want to be stressed and working hard by the time you are getting ready to leave work, because your body is already wired to believe you are leaving. So you're going to be in a state of rest. You might go watch a movie, get some food, or just relax when you go home. You want to be at a state of calming and rest and peace, a state of zen by the time you're leaving. You don't want to be working hard all the way up until the last second. You want to kind of get all that hard work done the first half of your shift, and you want to be doing things efficiently. Basically work hard so you can play or relax or coastal later on. It's like that one saying in life: you want to work hard during your 20s, your 30s, so you can enjoy the rest of your life and live financially free, as we like to say. So to lock in doesn't necessarily mean to just give your utmost focus, but it means it means having a routine to get the work done or get your hardest work done as efficiently as possible, for the first beginning stages of your shift, so you can coast through and enjoy and just relax while you get the, you know, your ending work done as you're getting ready to leave and go home and do whatever you do. So if you want to lock in at a retail job, you gotta have a routine. You gotta have a set plan and a set game plan before you even start. Look at what you have to do and then do your hardest work. Work hard now so you can coast through and relax later on. If you enjoy videos like this of me talking about work or even things that kind of indirectly relate to life advice, let me know. Hope you guys enjoy this video. It's your boy DRXCO, and I'm out of here. Peace.